Is it working? Are we live? Am I live? Huh. It's probably a... Oh, there it is. It's definitely working. Hello! Hello, everyone. It's working. So excited. This is excellent. We're ready to go. Thank you for everyone who is waiting. Thank you to everyone who joins a bit later. But let's get started. Wow, here we are. This is it. It's release day. It's the 2nd of December, a day that will live in history. We hope. And it is the release, of course, of our book Half Human. Right there. This is the first book in the series, The Prison Key. Right there. Is this the prison key? Well, you have to read it to find out, of course. But this is the book in all its glory. And a lot of people have already walked away with their copy today. And later on, I'm going to read a chapter of this for everyone watching. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to show you the game that we created for Half Human. That got a lot of input from students about how it could be better, much more fun. I'm going to show you some more about these like fidget toys that we made. And these aren't just merch. These are also like gadgets that appear in the book. Each tribe has one, and we've only released about 7 at the moment because only 7 tribes, spoiler alert, appear in the first book. A lot of people are in the chat. It's blowing up already. This is amazing. Thank you so much everyone who's commenting, and stay tuned because I'm actually going to while I won't write in the chat, I'm gonna have to interact with you, so stay tuned. Okay. But let's get started with everything. I'm going to talk about the project. I'm going to talk about all the bits and bobs that we've done, a bit of its history, and how we got to here, of course. And there's some fun things along the way, so don't worry about that. Now, when I went to... Oh dear, I've already got a problem. Resume the slide, Siri, thank you. Now, I... came to this school, Rugby School. This is a school that did it all. This belongs to them. When I got here, I was a librarian, and my whole purpose is to introduce the students to new and wonderful worlds, and to make available the stories they already enjoy. That's a librarian's job for sure. And well, this was me. This was me when I first did it. Look at that. Look at that handsome person. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can replicate that. Never mind. I had more hair back then. Anyway, this is me. Look how optimistic I looked when I took up that job. And I knew it was going to be fun anyway. Rugby School seemed like an amazing school to join, full of wonderful, amazing students. And I was optimistic about showing students new stories and giving them fascinating facts through the non-fiction books that we have. But it's hard sometimes, you know, because books sometimes take a back street to... screens. That's ironic that I'm telling you that through screens at the moment. But I talked to a bunch of librarians at other schools. I had connections with libraries in Kingston and Sutton, and I took aboard their ideas, and I ran with ideas from the pre-existing librarian, and we've had some fun increasing children's literacy levels, and I've given so many books out and encouraged so many students to try something new, and a lot of them are discovering new characters and new stories. And along the way I started thinking, what can I do? What should I make my project? And I was an author, and I thought, why not do a much more intensive creative writing project and then leverage that to suggest new books, to increase writing skills, and to produce something that I know students would love. Now, Half Human was a draft when I came to Rugby School, something I had sort of planned out, and it was ready to go. But, you know, it needed some work. It needed to be better, especially for the readership, which were the students at our school. And so I introduced the book to the students, and it was chosen as the project that they would do. They would read through it, edit it, make suggestions, add lore, change characters, do designs, everything. And this was actually one of the original printouts of the book. I gave this to a student for them to read, and they put marks all over it, of course, and, you know, made their suggestions. But that was one of like the first like copies of Half Human that ever went out. And eventually that ended up with, actually, sorry, I should be moving some slides along, shouldn't I? So, yeah, it was a project about encouraging students to creatively write. The title was tentatively called Half Human, the Prison Key. And this was the original sort of logo for it as well. And you can see the half human kind of nature, half, I think I can tell you now, it's half alien. Ryan Barnes, our main character, is half alien. And we did a cover design competition. We did this for all the books in the series, which is how we ended up with this. This is the, oh, hang on, let me take the cover off. That's way too shiny. How's that going to work? Can't see it. There we go. Lovely matte finish there. This was the original cover that we came up with, designed by, oh, actually, I think it's inside. Maybe I'm okay to name drop the students who. Byron B and Rafferty M helped design that cover. They won that particular competition. And what else? What else is going on? Okay, so we came up with a bunch of other covers for 4 books in the end, and we were really proud of them. I can't show you parts of them because that would spoil. I think the boys at Rugby know what this is all about, of course, but I'm not going to spoil it for the rest of you. Now, there was so much more to this project than the creative writing side. What I love about things, I didn't even foresee this really. The students got involved in other creative aspects as well. So there was, oh, sorry, I forgot to say, it ended up on Amazon as a self-published book, fully fleshed out. It had everything, the ISBN, it had the copyright page telling people not to try and copy it. We had our co-authors, we had even some artwork inside. And this is what I'm talking about. The creativity of the students. This was done by one of our students, Zach. And this dragon-like creature is appearing. It will appear in the second book, and it'll become a much more prominent role a little bit later in other novels as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a spaceship design. The Treadisum, who I will not tell you any more about. You have to read the book to find out. I'm sorry. This is one of their spaceships. They have insect-like spaceships, while the Ontarians, who are essentially the big aliens, they have more. If you can see that here, bird-like spaceships as well. We thought a nice little contrast between their 2 ship designs would make it great if ever became a movie. So art was a big part of the creativity that was shown for our students. These were some other drawings that they did of the main characters in the first book. You've got Ryan. We've got No, we've got Risa and Tretton. 4 main characters in this book, and of course it's not just art. We had some people knock up some 3D designs. So these are all done with input from the students. There's a big sort of community in our school that loves 3D printing, and of course the versatility of this like hobby is amazing. So each one of these is actually a gadget that you can find in the story. Each tribe has one of these technological devices. I can't really show you this. This is a spinning top. For the astral tribe, we've got I think it's like a spinner. You can spin the central wheels around and then realign them. That's for the stimuli tribe. This is my favourite though. This is the gyroscope that the Swift tribe use, and each one is its own technological device. Can I spin that? Yes, it works just fine. So creativity in storytelling, creativity in art, creativity in 3D printing and designing. We also had a visit at some point from a manga artist who came to Rugby, and that inspired us in there to draw our characters in the manga style. So you got pretty much all the main characters here. You got Ed, if you can see my mouse going here, it's like Edeps is there, Tretton is there, Leveria, Tongs, Ryan, Risa, and a special scene of Ryan pulling apart using that's a bit of a spoiler, let's move on. Can't move on because again it's stalled. Here we go. Let's move on from that. So we also designed like symbols to go inside the book. You actually can find them if you have a copy of Half Human. They're right there on the inside cover for you as well. And these were designed by a couple of students actually. We were trying to come up with symbols for each tribe because it gives them a sort of individuality, and each one, spoiler alert, is a superpower. And if you think about it, I bet you discussed at some point, what superpower would I want, and that kind of means you have to choose a tribe of your own. If you like super strength, then you'll want the Freyan tribe at the top. If you want to be able to fly, then you'll have to go with the Volant tribe. If you want to be telekinetically move things with your mind and they sort of float up, then you're gonna have to go with the Motus tribe. And each one also has their sort of corresponding philosophy on life, based on the fact that they've evolved with these superpowers. Oh, my mic gets cut. Sorry, I'm now looking at the chat for the first time. Audio's gone. No. Oh, it's here. Hang on a minute. Sorry, I'm going to pause, see if I can correct these mic problems. The volume's loud. Okay. Okay, hope you can continue hearing me. I'm just going to have to keep talking, I'm afraid, and hope that nothing goes wrong for the rest of it. It's not working. Dear me, how can it not be working? Everything's plugged in. I'm seeing audio capture. We got it back now. Okay, keep going, sir. Thank you very much for those in the chat. I think some students are, quite a lot of students are actually watching right now. Why does it keep going? Why does it keep going? It cuts out. Why is it cutting out, though? Maybe my internet's just not great. It's full power. Try on and off, they say. Well, it's back on. I'm getting a clear signal. Hang on, I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. Okay, I'm going to just have to keep going. I'm very sorry if I cut out. I'm going to just keep an eye on it. It says it's doing fine, so... Okay, I'm going to keep going. Power on through. Let's not let technology stop us. So, you can see that these symbols are also made of like letters of the alphabet, and we recombine them to form symbols that are related to each power of the tribe. That's why the Freyan tribe is a mountain, strong as a mountain, like the Freyans. The B was obviously turned into wings, C into sort of water. So that was where we came from, and that's all input by the students. And you might notice that's not writing the story. That's not the narrative. That's more lore. That's background knowledge, and that's a different form of like creatively thinking and using your imagination. Now, where am I? I am following a script a little bit here. Oh, that was it. We then created... Oh, dearie me. We then created a wiki for it as well. You might have seen one of these for your favourite fictional sort of fictional universes. And we've got one for Half Human too. And now it's time to rebuild it because it's being re-released by Spaceboy Books. And... oh, how did that get there? Spaceboy Books, of course, have published my books before. Let's move on from that quickly. There we are, Spaceboy Books. And they very kindly, I think, actually, if you are watching, let's give a round of applause for Spaceboy Books for taking on our book. It's amazing. And I'm so glad they've done that. And they actually, I got an email from them saying, happy release day. Happy release day to everyone who is involved in this project. Our book is out there. Probably worth mentioning. So Spaceboy Books have taken us on now, and I'm going to pause there for a little bit to let's have some fun now before I continue and talk about this project, about where it's gone from here. And now what I want to do is this. One of the things we created, I've mentioned it before, is our computer game. This is my website. You can find, if you open the drop down menu, go along to Half Human, there's a subcategory called Half Human Game. And this was made by us, of course, input from the students about how to make it better. It still needs perhaps a little bit of tweaking, but it's gone for its beta testing. And now what I'm going to do, this is the challenge. Let's have some fun. I'm going to make a challenge for you. If I'm going to try and knock all these crates off this platform in one single go. And if I fail, I will wear this wig for the rest of the stream. I will have to take it off for something else later on, but I promise you I will be wearing it. So let's see if I can do it. This is a challenge for me. And let's see, where do I think it's about... I think it's there. So here we go, everyone. Am I going to make it or not? No! Oh, darn it! I promised. Oh, it's steering me. Oh, there it is. There. Oh, that's is that good? There, that looks good to me. Oh, I might continue wearing this. I don't know. This is nice. Anyway, oh dear. Well, I failed. but I can't leave it there, can I? I've got to try again, haven't I? I've got to get this right. Pay attention. I think this must be the right spot. Oh, no! Darn it! Restart. Come on, get this right. I can't believe this. I practiced this all day to make sure that... I'm failing on so many levels, and our students from school are watching. This can't be good. Oh, here we go. Bobbly bosh. It worked. Yes, that comes up. Oh, I almost took it off. There we go. That was some fun, wasn't it? Watching Mr. Jury fail so spectacularly. But let's get back to it, and that's not all the fun we're going to have during this live stream. Now, that was our official Half-Human game. You can actually get it now on... oops, little break there. Come on. Oops, lazy. So, you can get it on the my website and www.halfhumanseries.com, which is our official website for our book. So where was I? We had found Spaceboy Books who took us on. And that was all down to a student called James. He was in year 8 a year ago? 2 years ago? Either way, James F. encouraged me to go and find a publisher for it. We were obviously self-publishing it ourselves. And I automatically thought of Spaceboy Books. I tried a few others, but Spaceboy Books were the first ones to come through for us. So again, round of applause for them. And next we had to kind of redo a few things that we had already done for this project. The first one was the editing process. Now this is, if you've ever edited a book, edited some homework, this is kind of how it feels. Because, you know, you have to keep rereading it to find those mistakes and make it the best it possibly can. But we edited it to the best of it. We ended up with this, the lovely Half-Human book one draft that went away to Spaceboy Books for their approval. And they came back, of course, with change this a little bit, like alter this, make sure it's all, recheck it for a few more spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes that we might have missed. And they sent us cover designs. Students had input on this as well. We had a few fonts to choose from, but they liked this font most of students. We had to vote for it, of course, and students liked this font. And this is a really good font because it sort of shows a half-human nature again of Ryan Barnes. And of course, there we are, Rokeby School. We're the authors, boys. We are the authors. We are the creators of this series that is going to be. It's going to go massive. Okay, it's going to go massive. That's what I think. That's what I believe, and I know it too. So we signed the contract. We went through the editing process. We've got this book, and of course, we have our websites now. And we've been doing a countdown on social media for the last 54 days, give or take. And we're already working on the second book in this series. I'm not going to tell you the title because we're probably going to change the title. I realised that the other title is a bit of a spoiler for what goes on in the book, and therefore we should probably do something about that. Now, it was all about inspiring I want to make this point about it because this is actually going to shout out a couple. Well, I'm not going to shout out their names, but I'm definitely going to mention the students. And you students know who you are when I mention you. This is all about inspiring students to creatively write themselves. Sometimes, and I admit this about my own library, there's not always enough books that you enjoy. So you pick up a book, you give it a read, it's not for me, and you put it aside. And that's perfectly okay. But I always hope that by inspiring students to write, they can write books that they themselves like to read. I love to read this book, and that's, in a sense, why I wrote it. I wanted to write a book I loved. So thank goodness we've got that. And this project has, like, maybe you're watching and you're from a school, maybe you're a librarian, maybe you're a publisher, an agent, something like that, and you're trying to like think about how you can get people writing, get students interested in creative writing, and therefore reading as well. And this project has worked. This has inspired a lot of creative writing at our school. Like, here we go. Let me show you. I've got them right here. So our younger, lower school students, they all helped to write picture books. This is the first one we ever did, called The Bogey Monsters. This was a year 1 book, and they did all the illustrations inside, and it's wonderful. So this is a picture book we did, and The Sky Whale was the year 2 book. And recently, only just only about like 6 months ago or so, we finished these books. Where Do I Belong? This was another year one book, and we also had The Emotional Hoover. These are all, again, picture books with wonderful illustrations by the students with their own stories that they helped to do. Not to mention, where is it? Have I already lost this book? I have. It's bad of me. Anyway, it was called Jeremy Megamonk. The day the toilet came alive. That's what I was going to show you. And so that's creative writing projects within the school that inspired students. And we've all... Let me give it. This is how amazing the students at school are. One of them thought of this idea off the back of these writing projects. He called the book The Jubilee, and it was around the time the late Queen had her Jubilee, and he thought, wouldn't it be funny to write? He just came up with this word Jubilee, and of course loo became toilet, and it became about the late Queen being chased by a toilet that was trying to eat her because it was anti-royalist or something like that. And that was just an amazing creative spark that he had. And it was amazing. We've got another student who came up with this character that he's very clumsy. Something Clot. That was his name, and he was very clumsy, and he used to do bizarre things in every single job he was at, usually causing mayhem wherever he went. We've got another person writing about a plane crash. He's like doing a very serious sort of work about what happens during a plane crash, and he has a love of planes, so he's leveraging that knowledge to write that story. And we've also got someone who took the Jeremy Megamonk ideas and kept writing out of it. He put like an Italian sort of flair on it because he's Italian. And he wrote about how Jeremy Megamonk, the whole school that he's in, turns into a dragon. And they look out the windows, which are now on the side of the dragon, as the dragon flies off and then crashes into a volcano. It's incredibly creative. And I love that the boys are doing this. And they're coming up with so many ideas. A bunch of students with me came up with an idea about a tree that's in the background of a battle. The tree decides, no, it's the main character. It's great. I love it. I love what's coming out of these students' brains, and it's their stories, and I encourage them to run with them. Right. I think the most important thing I can do on this live stream is talk to you about how you can write your own story, and this is where we're going to have some fun in the chat. I see a lot of W's in the chat. I wonder what that's about. Who knows what that's about? Someone can explain it to me. Nice wig. Thank you very much. That just came through. Right. Anyway, we're going to use the chat to have some fun. We're going to write a short story. So I'm going to have to take the wig off of this. I'm sorry. It will come back on. Don't worry. It will come back on. But what we need to do, it's actually really easy to write a story. You think it's difficult. You think you got the 7 books of the Harry Potter series, 14 books I think in the Alex Rider series, all those Percy Jacksons, 20 now I think in the Skullduggery Pleasant series. It's Malcolm Walpurgo has been writing for years and years and you think this must be so difficult to write a book, but it's not. Okay, I'm going to show you how. And it starts with a main character. So here's the choices. So wait for a second with the chat. I'm going to give you an option, okay? First, we need the main character. So is the main character going to be a pirate? A pirate. Is it going to be a pirate? That's option number 1. Don't vote yet. We've got a pirate. Should the main character be some kind of, I don't know, very studious professor who's very intelligent and thinks about the world? Or should we go instead with, some of you are probably wanting, wow, Mr. Drury really likes wigs. Or should the main character be some kind of witch? That's interesting because, witches are usually the bad guy. Bad girls. Sorry, I really shouldn't have done that. So I want you to vote now, and I will wear this for a little bit. I want you to. What we're going to do? I'm going to 10 seconds. Vote for witch, pirate, or professor. Go. Which wig. I'm not putting the wig on, guys. You gotta choose pirate, witch, or professor. Come on. In fact, I'm gonna go with the first person in the chat to put an answer. That's what I'll do. Come on, chat. Don't let me down. How many wigs do you have? I have lots. Come on, witch, pirate, professor. Someone write it down quickly. Are you doing W wig for white wig? What does that mean? How many? Come on, boys. Witch. We're going with witch. No more. So now I've got to put this back on. Let me just keep the nose on because it's this wig is that's incredibly itchy. Anyway, okay, so we're the witch. That's your main character. Now, again, I said witches tend to be considered evil in storytelling, but not anymore. Why not make a witch the hero? But when you're writing a book, you need a main character. It's a good place to start. Okay. So I think we need a bad guy, or normally you'd think a goal. The witch needs a goal. Maybe it's to promote the benefits of being a witch. Maybe it's to undo a curse that the witch did and she didn't like. She turned out that was a bad idea. Or maybe it's just about a witch who's well respected and the wizards are the bad guys in this story instead. So we need a goal, and let's make it simple. The goal can be defeating something. So let's see, what can we have? I've got a goal can be defeating a monster. Very simple. The goal could also be perhaps finding. Here we are. Let's take this nose off. Finding her lost sheep, maybe. Or actually, sorry, no, we're thinking about bad guys. Maybe the bad guy is a sheep. That's weird and wonderful, isn't it? You don't think sheeps are usually that dangerous, but why not? So we got a monster. We got a sheep. Maybe we've got very classic dragon. Here we go. This is Jerry from the library. I'm borrowing him. How's it going so far, Jerry? Rubbish. That's rude. We're going to talk about that back at school tomorrow. Anyway, so we've got dragon, sheep, or monster. First person to put it in the chat, which one do we do? The witch is facing the dragon, the sheep, or the monster? Come on, chat. Come on. I'm waiting. Come on, who's going to do it? Come on, who's going to be the first person to do it? You remember that puppet? Of course you remember that puppet. You see him all the time. Come on, dragon, sheep, monster. What are we doing? Who's the witch facing? Dragon! We chose it. We chose dragon. Well done for that. Let's get rid of the monster in that. So, we've got the witch. We've got her adversary, the dragon. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, the dragon. So, what we need now is plot. We've got main character, we've got goal, we need a plot. And this is something I taught my students. And it's the best way to make a plot of your own. Anyway, you ask yourself a what-if question. And the reason why this works so well is that if you just try to answer the question, you get your plot. So we could do something really simple. How would the witch defeat the dragon? Or we could do, what if a witch and a dragon became best friends? What if a witch had to fight? What if a witch had to fight a dragon? What if the witch wanted to make dragon soup, and therefore she needed to kill the dragon to make a dragon soup? So what we have to do is answer one of those questions. I'm going to go with the question about this. How would a witch cook a dragon? Seems like the most fun. What if a witch wanted to cook a dragon? So what we need to do now is answer that. People are mentioning curry a lot in the chat. So I'm going to go, what if the witch wanted to make dragon curry? That was just her goal. Maybe. So we have to ask ourselves, so what if she wanted to do that? Well, she'd obviously have to go find a dragon. So already we know this is a quest book. This is a book where the witch has to go on a quest to find said dragon, kill it, and turn it into dragon curry. So we have to think, how does she get there? Well, she could go on a broom and fly to the dragon. So now the quest is sort of like an aerial adventure. We're not on the ground, we're in the air. So now she could meet all kinds of different things in the air. And we think, well, what thing, if we keep answers like this, each answer generates another question. And if you try to answer each question, your plot starts to unfold. So she has to go on a broom. She has to fight other airborne creatures. So things like phoenixes, some things like chimeras. So we've got our plot points as she fights each one. She would have to stop on, say, mountains and villages along the way. But then she meets the dragon. And how's she going to kill it? How could she kill the dragon? Any suggestions in the chat about how she can kill the dragon in order to turn it into a lovely curry, I guess? Any takers? I'll come back and forth with it. Anyway, how could she do it? Well, spells. She's a witch. She knows spells. The dragon casts its fire, breathes its fire, uses its claws, uses its wonderful tail, and tries to hit the witch off her broom, and she uses spells to defeat it, eventually killing it and turning it into curry. She takes the curry back to the village. The village welcomes her, and she's no longer... Someone just put in the chat, a sharp broomstick. I like the idea. The witch has lost all... She's used all her spells. None of them work. The dragon's about to breathe fire on her, and the last thing she can do is just fly at it with her broomstick that she sharpens with her knife, and then flies it right into the dragon's eye, and she goes right through the head, and... I'm sorry, Jerry. And kills it, turns it into curry. Perfect. That's it. And boys, that is it. That is just everyone watching, not just the boys at school. That is how you write a story. It's very simple. And as I said, if you ask yourself a what if question, then that's the story writes itself. You just have to try and answer the question, and all the plot points will spill out of your wonderful, wonderful brain. Someone also suggested a massive fireball. That's a fan of D&D there. Well done. I'm gonna have to shout out GG -GG 67. That's not 6. Sorry, 6 said 5J. I can't believe I said it. Well done for the broomstick, the sharp broomstick idea. And well done, Scott 1450 for the massive fireball. Great stuff. But that's how you write a story. It's very, very simple. We did it. We wrote a story just then. Bobbity bosh. We got our own story. Now. How long have we got? Oh, we're going on half an hour. That's great. We're filling this time. We're going to run out of time. Right. What I want to do, I promised that I would read a chapter from Half Human. So I'm going to do that now. And if you just sit back, relax, close your eyes, and listen to me, Drury, read to you from Half Human. Now, there is a prologue at the beginning of Half Human. I'm going to skip it because there's a lot of detail in here that becomes very relevant later in the book, and I kind of don't want to spoil anything right now. But the first chapter is a good one because it introduces Ryan Barnes himself. So let's get started. Now relax. Let me just take a drink so that my voice can continue. Lovely, lovely spring water. Anyway, here we go. To everyone watching this live stream, thank you so much for watching, by the way. I haven't said that yet. That's very rude of me. But let's get started with Chapter 1 of Half Human, The Prison Key. Ryan Barnes wiped water from his forehead. It bombarded his head from above, running through his black hair and down his face like a waterfall. His saturated clothes clung to him like a second skin, which made him feel clammy, yet also cooled down his body from all its recent exertions. Boys around him, some wearing red shirts, some wearing blue shirts, squelched about slowly, their feet heavy with mud. A few were groaning about it, raising their hands to the heavens to curse the rain. Ryan bent down and tightened his shoelaces. He stretched a little, rocked his head from side to side. He looked over at the coach. She was throwing up her left hand, holding a 3 and then a 0. 30 seconds till the whistle, Ryan thought to himself. He looked along the line at his teammates, all giants with bulging muscles or stomachs, while he had a tough, thin physique. They were all crouched and poised. "Come on! Why doesn't the ref just blow the whistle?" a teammate muttered. Ryan just waited, although absent-mindedly, he scratched the scars on his right arm. He also had identical ones on his left. His grandparents had told him he had received them as a young boy who, while trying to get sweets from the top of the kitchen table, ended up knocking a teapot onto himself, causing scalding hot water to burn his arms and his legs. Although hidden by his rugby shirt, there were more burns on his back, running down the length of his spine. He made no effort to hide any of these scars, freely displaying them. They intimidated most people. He caught a member of the opposition staring at them. His eyes focused on him, not the game. His team occupied the lower half of the field. They were on 15 points. The opposition were beating them with 17. They needed a try or drop goal to regain the lead. Not so difficult, you would think. But they were about to polish off the last 30 seconds of the game. If they were going to win this, they would have to achieve something special. "For the cup!" someone on the sideline shouted. "Come on, lads!" yelled another. Ryan stared down the field at the opposition's try line, which was at least 3/4 of the pitch away from where he stood. Impossible that he, the right winger, could reach it and score a try. Ryan knew that he could do the impossible, though. A scrum was forming to his left. 8 of his team members, fellow students from his high school, were taking up their positions. They all knew what was at stake. They had to get the ball to their wingers, specifically their star winger. Ryan breathed in deeply. For over an hour, he had pushed himself very hard, and he was feeling the effects. That was strange for him. It never usually hurt for him to go at top speed. But he couldn't worry about that now. The referee brought the scrum together. All the players on the pitch went still. All the spectators on the sidelines went quiet. The only sound was the rain beating down on umbrellas like an hysterical drummer. The shrill of the ref's whistle cut through the air. Ryan, far from the action, close to the sidelines, found himself almost deafened by the roaring of the crowd. "Come on, get the ball!" shouted a group of 7th years. "Go on, Bill! Go on, Matthew!" some parents called out. "Channel the ball! Channel the ball!" bellowed the coach. A PE teacher called Mrs. Thatcher. She had her hands cupped to her mouth, screaming at her players. She then turned her head to look down the line at Ryan. "Get ready for the ball," she said to him. "It's all on you." No pressure then, Ryan thought. He started moving into position, the rain smacking against his face as he jogged through what felt like a curtain of water. The players in the scrum were shouting at each other, edging themselves to do better, pushing on the opposition, digging their feet in. Ryan could only just see the ball, and luckily his players had control. Time was running out though. They had to hurry. Finally, the ball came completely into view, and the real action started. The player who picked up the ball swung his arms and twisted his hands to make the first pass, sending the ball spiralling through the air like a spinning top. The ball left a pretty circular shower of water behind it. Ryan watched the droplets. To him, it was moving in slow motion. The first winger was already moving and caught the ball, then went careering past the scrum and up the pitch. The opposition players pushed forward with a roar. One stepped up for the tackle, but before he could reach his target, the winger passed. The second winger for Ryan's team caught the ball and fumbled it slightly. The crowd gasped. All sound, except for the patter of rain, ceased. However, the student grasped it firmly and ran for the gap in the line, and the crowd roared its approval. The opposition closed in on him quickly, and for a third time the ball sailed through the air as the player tried to get it away from the enemy. And now it was time for the crowd who supported the opposition to cheer, as one of their players suddenly intercepted the pass and now was taking it back down the pitch. One of the former members of the scrum was in his way and was going for a tackle, so the opposing player passed to a fellow teammate practically right next to him. Impossible pass to fail. This was Ryan's chance. He drew upon the latent power in his body and tensed every muscle. His legs felt like coiled springs as they launched him forward. Accelerating faster than anyone could have imagined, he sped towards the ball, running through his own line of defenders, rushing to tackle, and was between the two opposition players from 5 meters away in a matter of milliseconds. The ball was muddy. His hands came together as it slipped free. Ryan concentrated. To him, the rest of the world slowed down while he moved normally. He even had time to whip his head around and evaluate his position, identifying a way through the lines of the players and up the pitch. Then he repositioned his hands, gripped the ball, checked to make sure it was firmly in his fingers, and then everything returned to normal speed. The cheer from his supporters was one of surprise and celebration at a 1-in-a-million move. He wondered what they had seen. To them, had his hands moved in the sudden blur for a fraction of a second? He refocused on the game. Super fast, he tore up the pitch, with mud flying out behind him, whipped left and right by his legs that pumped like pistons. "Go! Go!" the crowd shouted, some running down the line with him and failing to keep up. The opposition closed on him. While their feet made sucking noises as they pulled their boots in the mud, Ryan moved his legs so powerfully the dirt could not grip him. They moved like they were running through treacle, while nothing stopped Ryan from finding every gap in the line and powering on through. He ducked under arms and moved through gaps that might have been a mile wide. In a few seconds he was clear of all the other players, heading for the try line. He smiled and turned around, and while he trotted backwards, he saluted to his team, passed over the try line, and planted the ball down. 5 points. The whistle blew. Final score, 2017 to his team. He had just won the match. Ryan then started coughing uncontrollably. His lungs were suddenly burning. He panicked and grasped his chest. Never had he felt tired, not once using his super speed for his entire life. He was thinking about all those other times he had run at speeds no human had ever reached before. How easy it had been, and now was he suddenly paying the price? Gradually the coughing stopped, and his lungs cooled off. Ryan stood up straight and looked at his team supporters. Everyone was cheering. All the exhortations directed at him, and he soon forgot about his laboured breathing and drank in the praise. His heart beat fast. Euphoria flooded his system. It felt great. There we go. That's the first chapter of Half Human, A Prison Key. And you can kind of get a sense for Ryan's character. He is going to grow and change in this book. But you also get a sense of what he can do. And let me read the blurb on the back of the book to get you even more excited for this story. Ryan Barnes knows he's not a normal teenager, but that's not a problem for him. He's super fast, making him incredibly good at sports and amazingly popular. He wouldn't change anything about his life. But his perfect world is about to be thrown into chaos. His father's people are coming for him, and they aren't from planet Earth. Ryan must now face a challenge no human has ever faced before, adapt to an alien culture, and live on a new world. Co-authored and edited by the Rokeby writing team. That's some of you. Boys, first chapter sounds great. The blurb sounds great. The cover looks great. Everything about this whole project is great, in my opinion. And I appreciate all those who took part and helped to make this what it is. I think it's time for just a little bit more fun before we move into what's a Q&A session. So if you have any questions about the book series, about what's... I'm not going to give you spoilers, but if you have any questions about the process, things like that, please put them in the chat in a few minutes. And... oh, that's nice. Someone in the chat just put, "You're the reason hair transplants were made." Still funny to me. Anyway, I like this wig, to be honest. Okay, here's a deal. Here's a deal for this is mostly for any of the Rokeby boys who are watching. There's a fun level in Half Human game, and let's get a bit closer. And it's this one. You've got all these. You've got this tower of crates. Here's the deal. I will wear this tomorrow if I can't clear this platform of crates in under 30 seconds. Actually, we're going to have to reset. Okay, here we go. Fun mode. I know what I'm gonna do. Right, 30 seconds. I gotta clear this entire platform. Okay, and unfortunately, some programming bugs means that some of these crates actually stay hanging in the air about the physics. So, you ready? I know any students watching are going, please fumble this, Mr. Jury. Wear that wig tomorrow. But here we go. You ready for this? This is it. I'm gonna win this. 30 seconds. Go. Come on. Get rid of the wall. Oh, no. Quickly. 6 seconds. Oh, I'm going to make this. I'm going to clear this with plenty of time, I think. Oh, dear. Come on. Clear it. Yes. 14 seconds. 40 seconds. I am not wearing this wig tomorrow. I am... thank goodness. Thank you so much. I am not wearing this wig tomorrow. Bobbly Bosh again. Bobbly Bosh! Excellent. That's what you get if you do the first level, and you can get rid of all the crates in one go. Bobbly Bosh. So, there we go. Right, it's Q&A time. Let's finish off, let's say 10 minutes of Q&A time. If you have any questions, I can give you answers if you put them in the chat now. And while I wait, because there's a slight delay, so I'm going to wait for them to come up and take a drink. Well done. Thank you everyone for chatting. This is so good. This is going to help our book get known, boys. Thank you so much. And for anyone else who just joined, who's completely somewhere else in the world, hopefully there's someone in America watching right now. How was your day? That's a good question. Thank you. So my day was great. I went to work. Obviously, I was in the library. The boys came in and grabbed their books. Some of you didn't grab your books, so come in tomorrow and get it, please. So we did a D&D club after school. They successfully infiltrated the castle, got around some giants who were a bit silly, but it was great. So yeah, great day. Another question is, can you give me Guy a shout out? GG, I think it is. There's your shout out. Thank you for that question. What did you do today, sir? I actually went and got a KFC. I didn't think I'd have time for dinner tonight, so I went and got a lovely Kentucky Fried Chicken. What else can we do? Give me another question. Come on. What will be the last book in the series? Oh man, am I going to spoil it? I can't. I can't spoil it. There's going to be 7 planned books in this series. So some of you are going to get to write, where you're going to have a chance to dip into every book in this series and get to book 7. But there will be a question that you will have to answer as a student body, if it is you, about how do we finish Ryan's story? And that's going to be a tricky one. How do we want him? Are we going to give him a happy ending? Are we going to give him a sad ending? That's our choice. Obviously, we want to do the one that's absolutely right for the story. What's my favourite character? Someone says. I guess he's asking myself, who would I be most of all? Now, I sometimes think I would actually like to be Ryan Barnes, and one of the reasons is that shout out to Henry B because someone asked. Any other shout outs going on? Nope, no one else right now. Ooh. Ryan, there's some guy who's just put a lot of melons and chicken. I don't know why he did that. Anyway, my favourite character actually is Ryan because he goes through a lot of growth, and I like book characters who they have to grow. Obviously, they have to learn things, but I like them to be less passive heroes. And Ryan is someone we've designed to not be a passive hero. In some ways, while I kind of still like the series in some ways. Harry Potter, for example, is kind of like a passive hero who sometimes falls into things, which is fine for that kind of story. But I like the kind of Valkyrie Kane sort of hero who actually wants to get stuck in and wants to improve and grow. So that's why Ryan's my favourite character, because that's the kind of character we're going to make him. Let's see if there's any more questions in there. Come on, put some questions in the stories, and anyone who's watching. Keep going. Come on, questions, boys. Questions. Shout out to Guy Hirschfield. That's what that is. Can I have a shout out? Can I have a shout out? Come on, guys. Give me a question about someone. Give me a question. Right. I'm not saying any more shout outs. Come on, boys. Come on, people watching around the world. Give me a question that I can answer about Half Human. That's going to help people who are watching. Okay, it looks like we're not going to get any more questions. Just a load of nonsense. No, I appreciate it. Your apology is accepted. Anyway, let's not be harsh. Oh, someone does want to. Can you dance on screen? Obviously, I can dance on screen, but you can only see this much of me. How's that? Does that work? Yes, I can dance on the screen. I can dance. Any more questions? How many tribes are there? Excellent. There are technically 13 tribes. Unlucky for some, but not unlucky for us. There are, let me list them for people. The Freyan tribe, the super strong tribe. In fact, maybe in the chat after I've read these out, put your favourite tribe. What's the superpower you want most? Freyan tribe, who are the strong and durable tribe. The Volant tribe, who can fly. The Pure tribe, who live underwater and have all the sort of associated benefits of doing so. The Stimuli tribe, who have not just the better senses, that the common senses like seeing and hearing. We're talking about like even sense of balance, a sense of direction, a sense of temperature. They can see heat. The Animalis tribe, who can sort of bond with and even slightly turn into animals along the way. The Swift tribe, that's Ryan's primary tribe, who are super fast. They're not like Flash speed or Quicksilver speed, but very fast. The Tomb tribe, who can kind of teleport, but they also have a sort of no, that's too much spoiler. I can't go into more. The Morphosis tribe, they can shapeshift. The Astral tribe, who can read minds and connect to minds. The Intelligent tribe, who are very brainy. The Motus tribe, who can move things with the power of their mind. The Men tribe, who can super heal. And the Tredisum, who can, at any one time, use any power of the other tribes, sort of in a loose, sort of low-powered effect. But if they... No, that's a spoiler, not doing that. But there is a way for them to get the full power effect. So, what tribe would you be? What's the power that you like? Tomb tribe is someone's favourite, maybe the Astral. The Tomb tribe is pretty good. They're very mysterious. They're very, very mysterious. Can I do a backflip? See, I can do a backflip. I can do it. The next book release, someone has asked, that's coming in roughly February. No precise date, but it's coming out quick. You won't if you're new to Half Human, if you're not a student at the school, you won't have to wait long. You won't have to wait long. This is a great Christmas present, but you don't have to wait long for the next book in the series. Some people, of course. Oh, someone's asked, what is the prison key? Or is it? That's the answer. Sorry for that. That's the answer you get. Any other questions coming through? Like I said, a lot of when will the next book release? Yes, it is a nice wig. It really is a nice wig. And let's pair it with those glasses I never really got to wear. Oh, that's good. New look for Mr. Jury. What's my favourite Half Human book? Well, we've done 4 already, but my favourite is... Okay, it's called... Okay, no, it's the 3rd book in the series. Sorry, boys, you know the titles, but I can't. There's people watching, and there's other people watching, and I don't want to spoil it for them. It's the 3rd book in the series. It's my favourite because it's a real test of Ryan's abilities as he's become a sort of more competent and a kind of leader of the group. It's a real test for him. What's the favourite book I've ever written? I have a soft spot for... So I'm just trying to see if I've got it to hand. I don't. It's my first ever book, and it was called Return to Earth. And it's about a boy who gets abducted by aliens. That has a special place in my heart. That's my favourite book I've ever written. Someone's asking, will magic make an appear? Well, this is what's called... This book... It's a sci-fi book for sure, because we're dealing with science. Definitely, because sci-fi books ask tough questions about science and progress and the future of the human race and what it means to be human. But it's also kind of a fantasy. It's a sci-fi fantasy, so it's kind of straddling the line between Star Wars, which is kind of sci-fi fantasy, and something like, say, Interstellar, which is a very pure sci-fi. It's falling somewhere mid-range, but who's to say that we can't bring magic into it in some fashion? It's our story, and I think we want to go beyond the original 7 books, and there are ways to bring something magic-like into it. But that's kind of up to us. Someone's asked, will another tribe... Well, all those tribes are going to be revealed one by one as we go on. There are no plans at the moment to introduce another tribe. Someone's saying please don't, but I don't know. Who knows? Well, hang on a minute. We know. We're writing a story. We'll think about it. It's going to be something we have to think about it. Something about a shout out to some form of tea there. I'll say that. Pad Kai tea? There you go. Someone's quit. I'm sorry, Daniel. But thank you so much. Okay. Boys, I think we're going to have to draw... Sorry, I'm not just talking to students. I know there's other people out in there in the world. Call out to Ranga. Mr. Jury not responding. No, I did respond. Pay attention. Listen to me, Daniel. I responded. Anyway. Oh, someone's putting some ideas on the chat as well. Shout out to Arjun. Shout out to Ranga. Shout out to every single boy who's actually putting their name. Shout out to Tien. Tien, we're not naming a tribe after you. What are you talking about? Anyway, I can't really dip into that anymore. It's crazy. I love it so much. It's perfect. This has been an amazing live stream for me. I think the chat has proved that they've been enjoying it as well. What can I say as we wrap this up now? Well, be on the lookout for the 2nd book in the Half Human series. There's still going to be some additional sort of posts going out to make a big deal of this book. By the way, tell the world, if you're here, tell the world this is a unique book that I don't think has ever been done before. I'm pretty certain this is the first school book, a book written by a school, and certainly the first to ever get it what's called traditionally published by someone like Spaceboy Books. Again, big thank you to them. If you have been a part of this, like if you're part of the rugby writing team, you have done something incredibly amazing and a first, a literal first in the world. Books are created in many different ways. It's done by one author, such as myself, writing, finding someone to publish it. Books are written because a publisher wanted it written. They came up with the idea. They went and found authors who can do it for them. This is a first of its kind. I am certain of that. If you do know of another book, put it in the chat, and I will apologise and say, oh no, they got there first. But I think we're first. We're the first to do this. This is the first time the school wrote a book that the students came to the library. They loved stories. They loved writing stories. They were encouraged by not just me but the school at large, the whole faculty to think creatively, and put a story out there in the world. And this is what we get. I thank all the faculty at Rugby who have supported this. Of course, supported the picture books as well. It's so amazing that we've done something that has never ever been done before. Sorry, I got to start annoying that chat. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. Anyway, woof. No, what am I gonna do? Where was I? You guys, if you're watching from Rugby, to you have done something that's never been done before. When you leave Rugby, when you head off at some point, which will be a sad day, you can take the knowledge that you've been a part of something truly, utterly unique. You're going to be able to tell your fellow students at your new schools, this is my book. Have you done that? Encourage them to do it, by the way. But you've done it. You can be proud of Rugby School for being the first school to ever do this. And I think it's a major achievement. It's possibly a major milestone in writing, not to get a big head that can no longer suit this wig, but just because this is something that if you're a writer, if you're an author, this is something you can do too. If you're a school that's looking to inspire your kids to be more creative, this is the kind of project you can do. You can do it. If you go, oops, daisy, gosh, gotta do one more time. If you go to Half Human on the official Half Human website and on mine, there's the Half Human Publishing Project. There's a list about how it all worked. There's sort of like a writing project video that it's. There's more dancing for you. That's the intro, and you can watch this. You can watch me build something that appears in the prologue, and I detail how this project works. So if you're a school, watch this. You get a nice time lapse as well from a great game. And sponsor us, Minecraft. No, they won't do that. Anyway, this tells you how to do the whole thing, and it's great. It's a great school project, and I'd be happy to talk you through it as well. And you can do it. You can get it self-published, and if you want to go the extra step of trying to find a publisher, why not? And what's great about Half Human, it's a book written by the readership for the readership. So it's now time to bring this whole thing to an end. This is great. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Rugby School. Shout out to Moody. Okay, I will say the other houses. Shout out to Olive, Bazaljet, and Galsworthy. It's they've done a great job, and this has been an amazing project, and we're not even finished yet. If you're on the chat and you're not from, I can see some people on the chat actually, invite me to your school. If you've moved on from Rugby, I'd be happy to come and talk. A short assembly, talk to all the year groups, it's fine. We want to tell as many people as possible, and I want to encourage as many schools as possible to do a similar thing for them. We're the founders of this movement of schools writing their own books, and we want other people to do the same. Let's pause this because it's going to bother. No, I'm sorry. It's got to end. It's got to end. Oh, dear me. To everyone in the chat, we appreciate you watching so much. And if you're watching this afterwards, I'm going to sort of break this down and put it on a couple of other social media sites as well. Thank you so much for watching. To the students who are watching, thank you so much for being a part of this. It is truly wonderful. Again, to the faculty, thank you so much for your support. To Spaceboy Books, you're amazing for publishing this book, and we've got so many others. There's so much more to do, but it's worth it in the end. And to all the parents, to friends and family who also support and push this, again, it's incredible. I now have to end this. Oh dear, it's almost sad to end it because the chat has been amazing. I've never done anything like it. It's time to say goodbye. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I can finally take this off. It's good. Oh, so amazing. Goodbye, everyone. Great. You've been great. Have a good one. Have a good evening.